Welcome back. The rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Washington silver quarter. Dollar, but not just any dollars. We're talking about the ones that sold for thousands of dollars at auction, so let's get started. First up, the 1970 Washington silver quarter with D mint mark, which is in damaged condition. You might be wondering, what is this coin worth in today's market? Well, we'll cover that and more, so let's dive right in. The 1970 Washington silver quarter was minted during an era of significant change. By 1970, the U.S. was transitioning out of the silver coinage program, and this quarter was among the last of the silver quarters issued for circulation before they were replaced by the copper-nickel-clad quarters. The Washington quarter itself first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth has become one of the most beloved and widely collected coins in U.S. numismatic history. On the obverse of the 1970 Washington quarter, we have the portrait of George Washington, the first U.S. president, designed by John Flanagan. The inscriptions include Liberty, In God We Trust, and 1970, marking the year of minting. On the reverse of the coin, we find the bald eagle, the symbol of the United States, clutching an olive branch and arrows. The coin also features the inscription, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and $quarter. Now, let's talk about the condition of this 1970 Washington silver quarter. In damaged condition, the coin shows visible signs of wear or injury that have affected its surface. This could include scratches, dings, or discoloration, likely from improper handling or being in circulation for a long time. So, what's the value of the 1970 Washington silver quarter in damaged condition today? Well, the market value of this coin is affected by its condition. Typically, a coin like this would fall in the range of $120,000. The value is primarily determined by the silver content and the coin's wear and tear. In better condition, this coin might be worth more, but given the damage, the price is lower. It's important to keep in mind that this coin's value is not just about the year it was minted, but also its overall preservation. For collectors who are focusing on silver content or trying to complete their Washington quarter collection, the 1970 Washington silver quarter is still an interesting find, even in damaged condition. While 1,970 Washington silver quarters are relatively common in circulation, collectors often seek out coins with interesting characteristics like specific mint marks, exceptional conditions, or unique errors. The D mint mark makes this coin significant to some collectors, especially those focused on mint mark variations from Denver. Despite the damage, this coin might still hold value for collectors looking to complete a series or add silver quarters to their collection. However, as we've seen with damaged coins, the demand will usually be a little lower than for a coin in pristine condition. Next up, 1982. Washington silver quarter, featuring D mint mark a black color shade and found in dirty condition. You might be curious about its worth in today's market. In this video, we'll break down the details and tell you exactly what this coin is worth today. Let's dive in. The 1982 Washington silver quarter was minted during a pivotal time in U.S. coinage history. By the early 1980s, the U.S. had long since transitioned away from using silver in circulating coins. In fact, by the end of 1964, silver was removed from circulating quarters, but many still fondly recall the Washington quarter for its iconic design, which was introduced back in 1932. The 1982 Washington silver quarter is part of the standard series, but it is important to note that it has no silver content. It is part of the clad coinage era. Despite this, it's still a significant piece for collectors due to its age and the unique characteristics that each coin can exhibit. The design of the 1982 Washington quarter has remained largely unchanged since its introduction. On the obverse, we see the famous portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States. This design, created by artist John Flanagan, has become synonymous with U.S. coinage. On the reverse, the coin features the bald eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom, clutching an olive branch and arrows. The reverse also features the inscriptions United States of America, e pluribus unum, and $quarter. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. This 1982 Washington silver quarter has a black color shade and is in dirty condition. Over time, coins that are exposed to environmental elements like moisture dirt and chemicals can become discolored. In this case, the coin shows a dark patina or blackish stain, which often comes from long-term storage in poor conditions or exposure to pollutants. Coins in a dirty condition generally exhibit surface grime discoloration or tarnish. While these imperfections can make the coin less visually appealing, they do not necessarily detract from its historical significance or its value to certain collectors. So, what is this 1982 Washington silver quarter worth today? Coins in dirty condition like this one tend to be valued lower than those in excellent or uncirculated condition. However, the value is still influenced by the clad content of the coin and the demint mark. On average, this coin is worth around $35,000 in today's market, primarily due to its age and the fact that it's a part of the Washington Quarter Series. Coins in dirty condition are typically priced lower than those in near mint or mint condition, but their intrinsic value still remains based on factors like the year, mint mark, and the overall demand for Washington quarters. While coins in dirty condition may not attract the highest bids at auctions, they can still hold interest for collectors, especially those working on completing a Washington Quarter Series. The demint mark and the coin's historical significance make it an appealing find for those who are looking to add to their collection. For collectors interested in silver quarters, it's worth noting that 1982 quarters are not silver, as they are clad with copper nickel, but they still carry the iconic Washington design, making them significant for collectors focused on the overall history of U.S. coinage. Next up, the 1984 Washington silver quarter with P mint mark in extra fine condition. You might be wondering what this coin is worth today and what makes it valuable in today's market. Well, in this video, we'll explore its history, design, condition, and give you an estimate of its current value. Let's get started. The 1984 Washington Quarter is part of the long-running series that was introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1984, the design of the quarter had remained largely unchanged for over 50 years. While the U.S. Mint was no longer using silver in circulating coins since 1965, this quarter is still a key part of American coinage, particularly for collectors focused on clad quarters. Produced during a time of economic changes and transitions, the 1984 Washington Quarter represents a piece of U.S. history as the country was in the midst of technological advancements and a growing influence in the global economy. It's a standard issue coin, but because of its age and the fact that it's from the early 1980s, it holds a certain collector value. The design of the 1984 Washington Quarter remains iconic. On the obverse, we have the portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. Washington, the first president of the United States, has been depicted on this coin since 1932, and his image is widely recognized. On the reverse, you'll find the classic eagle holding an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing peace and readiness. The eagle design has been a staple of American coinage since the early 20th century. This quarter also bears the inscriptions United States of America, e pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. Now, let's talk about the condition of this 1984 Washington Quarter. This particular coin is in extra fine condition, meaning it shows some wear but still retains a lot of its original detail. The extra fine grade typically indicates that the coin has been circulated but still has sharp features, such as clear definition in Washington's hair, the eagle's feathers, and the overall designs on both the obverse and reverse. So how much is this 1984 Washington silver quarter worth today? The 1984 quarter in extra fine condition typically holds a value of $50,000. This value can fluctuate based on demand and other market conditions. While it doesn't carry the same high value as some older or rare Washington quarters, it remains a solid piece of American numismatic history. Since the 1984 quarter is part of a regular issue and is a clad coin made from copper nickel, it doesn't have the same precious metal content as older quarters. Still, coins like these are valuable to collectors for their age, design, and the overall appeal of Washington quarters. While the 1984 Washington quarter may not be a high-priced rarity, it still attracts collectors, especially those looking to complete a Washington quarter series or those focused on quarters from specific years and mint marks. Collectors often seek coins in better condition, and this extra fine example will appeal to those who appreciate coins with well-preserved details but don't necessarily need a mint state coin. Additionally, many collectors value coins that come from specific mints, so the P mint mark can add a level of interest to this piece. Next up, the 1979 Washington silver quarter with D mint mark in damaged condition. So, what makes this coin valuable and what's its market worth today? Let's dive in and find out. The 1979 Washington quarter was issued during a time when the U.S. economy was going through significant changes. The country was experiencing a shift from the 1970s inflationary period into the early 1980s recession. Despite this economic turbulence, the 1979 quarter remains a key part of U.S. coinage history. This coin, like many others of the era, was produced at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark. The Washington quarter has been in production since 1932, and its design has remained largely unchanged except for minor modifications over the years. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington's portrait on this coin has become an enduring symbol of American pride and history, as he was the first president of the United States. The reverse features the classic image of the eagle, holding an olive branch and arrows symbolizing both peace and defense. This design has been a staple of American coinage for decades, giving the Washington quarter its iconic look. On the reverse, you'll also notice the inscription United States of America, along with the denomination quarter dollar and the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, meaning out of many one. These elements help make the Washington quarter one of the most recognized coins in U.S. history. Now, let's talk about the condition of this coin. This 1979 Washington quarter is in damaged condition, which means it has some wear and tear due to mishandling exposure or other factors over the years. Damaged condition coins typically show noticeable imperfections like deep scratches, dings, or discoloration. While damage can lower a coin's value compared to a pristine specimen, it doesn't necessarily make the coin worthless. It still holds historical value, especially to collectors who are looking for pieces from specific years or mint marks, even if they aren't in perfect condition. So, what is the 1979 Washington silver quarter worth today? In damaged condition, this coin is valued at around $20,000. While it might not fetch a premium like higher-grade examples, it still has some value due to its historical significance and relatively low mintage. This coin's value fluctuates based on the condition and market demand. If the coin were in better condition, say in extra fine or mint state, it could command a higher price, but even in damaged condition, it can still find a place in a collector's collection. While this 1979 Washington silver quarter isn't a rare, high-value coin, it still has a place in the world of numismatics. Collectors often seek coins from specific years, and having a piece from 1979 can be an important addition to a Washington quarter collection. Some collectors are specifically interested in coins with damaged conditions as they represent a piece of history, often telling a story of how the coin was circulated and used. Others simply enjoy the challenge of finding coins from every year, even those that are worn or damaged. In conclusion, the 1979 Washington silver quarter with D mint mark in damaged condition is worth around $30,000 in today's market. While it may not be the most valuable coin out there, it still holds significance for collectors and those interested in Washington quarters. If you have any 1979 quarters or other interesting coins in your collection, let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more coin insights. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!